Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I want to talk about ringing in the new year narc free. Okay. What does that mean exactly? That means that you're moving forward in your life, you're looking forward, and you're not looking back to all the trauma you've been through when dealing with a narcissist or a toxic person or toxic relationships. Now we're going into 2023 and it's time for a change, okay? But one of the things you have to understand is in order for something to change, you have to make a change. You have to be proactive. You have to decide what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept from people. And this means boundaries. What will you accept and what will you not accept? And this is where a lot of people they don't even know where they stand with things because they don't even know what a boundary is. Okay. They just go with the flow. And when you go with the flow, people break your boundaries. And then later on, you're like, well, why did they do that? Well, you never had a boundary up. You never knew, what is your limit and what is not your limit. And this is how people end up in very toxic relationships with narcissists because they never had boundaries or they never enforced their boundaries. And the narcissist just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. The lower your boundaries, the more a narcissist is going to push and keep wanting more and more. Okay. They're going to take as much as they can get out of you. But now you're going into a new year and you have to decide, you have to self-reflect on your life. You have to look back on where you've been, who you've dealt with, what you went through. It's very good to put this down on paper too, you guys. Put down your past relationships. Put the pros and cons of those relationships and really reflect on that and say to yourself, what was I dealing with? What did I put up with? What am I not going to put up with come the new year? Okay. Do I know enough about how to spot a narcissist? Okay. Now, you can never be narc free, okay? Because there's so many narcissists in society. It's all over the place. But narcissism is a spectrum. There's people that, have some narcissistic qualities and some people that are flat out with no empathy that are downright cruel, okay? So, you're never going to find a perfect world, a perfect society, not in this world, all right? And you're going to have instances where you have to deal with narcissistic people. It could be friends, it could be work, it could be family, and you have to know how to deal with these people. You have to, recognize the narcissist. That's why you need to educate yourself and recognize when you start to see those narcissistic qualities. In other words, they're very selfish. They're very self-centered. They flip the blame on you. They play the victim, especially covert narcissists love to play the victim. When you see any of these red flags, these signs, the first thing you have to do is alter your brain and say, I'm dealing with a toxic narcissistic person. Now I know that I need to step back and not expect transparency from them because you're not going to get transparency from them. All right. You're not going to get the truth out of them. They're going to do whatever they have to do, manipulate or whatever to get whatever they're seeking. But you have to be able to recognize these type of people and have to know how to handle these type of people. If you have to live around these type of people or interact with these people, you have no choice. You have to know how to gray rock these people and not let them affect your emotions. And I know that's very hard, okay? Because they will try to trigger you. They will insult you. They will judge you. They will put you down. They'll have you at a point where you just want to knock their block off, okay? But you cannot let them have that control over you because that's what they want. That's what the narcissist wants. They want a reaction. And the reason they want a reaction out of you is this is their way of being able to feel that they have control over you. Remember what I always say, narcissists want control. That's their number one thing, control and power, because they never felt like they had it when they were growing up. So when you see anybody with those kinds of, red flags or anything like that, you have to step back from that and you have to say to yourself, I can't take this person seriously. I can't take this person seriously, and I sure as hell do not want to tell them anything personal about my life. You do not tell them about your finances. You do not tell them about your vulnerabilities. You do not divulge that information to these type of people. Once you spot them, you know that you have to hold back and not open up to somebody like that, because they will use it against you, or they will try to manipulate you with what you tell them. So you have to hold back from that, and you have to gray rock these people. You have to respond and not react, and make contact minimal. Okay. For instance, let's say you have a narcissistic family member, but you have to deal with them. It could be a family party or something like that. You keep your distance from them. And, if they ask you a question, you respond, yeah, no, okay. You don't have to explain yourself to the narcissist. Once you know that you're dealing with a narcissist, you don't owe them anything, okay? You don't have to plea your case in court to a narcissist, okay? Unless you're going to court, then that's a whole different thing, okay? But you're not pleading the case to the narcissist, you're pleading the case to the judge. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about ringing in the new year and trying to stay, having a sense of peace within yourself moving forward. You've been through a lot. You've dealt with this toxicity. You've dealt with the narcissist. You dealt with people that tried to manipulate you, lie to you, maybe cheated on you, maybe put a false sense of self up and tried to portray that they were something they were not, okay? And you got fooled. You got fooled. So what are we going to do this year? We're going to be smarter. That's what you're going to do. You're going to educate yourself, and you're going to be smarter, and you're going to recognize these type of cats when you run into them. And when you run into them, you're going to distance and disengage from them unless you have to deal with them. Then you're going to gray rock them, okay? You're not going to let these people have control over your life, okay? You've got to look for the people that have heart, people that will sacrifice for you. And the reason that people get fooled is because a narcissist has two faces. A narcissist can be very loving, very caring, very affectionate in the beginning. They could love bomb you. They could future fake you, but it's the beginning. I'm going to say this 42,000 times till people get it through their head. It's in the beginning, okay? You don't know who this person is. You are not going to know who this person is until 6 months or longer. And you've got to go slow with it to really see who they are, because their mask is going to fall off. It always does, you guys. I'm telling you, oh my God, I've seen this 1,001 times. The mask comes off. It's just a matter of time. It depends on how slick the narcissist is and how sharp you are on picking up to the red flags that you're dealing with somebody who is false, phony, and fake. Okay? So, this is how you're going to move into the new year. You're going to look at somebody and you're going to say to yourself, does this person have a beautiful heart? Okay. But see, the problem today is so many people are superficial. Okay. They look at the outside of somebody. They look, oh, they're really sexy. Oh, I want to get in bed with them. Oh, they're so sweet. They have a nice job or something like that. And that's all on the surface. Now, that's fine if you want a short-term thing or you're looking for a hookup or something like that. But if you're looking for something that is to build with somebody, or you're looking for a future, you better make sure that person has a beautiful heart. And you're not going to know that till time, you guys, time. Stop assuming that what they tell you is the truth, because we know that people lie all the time, all right? And in time, the liar gets exposed. The narcissist who lies about who they are, what they're about. Oh, they're so religious. Oh, God sent you to me, okay? And all of that, all right? You're going to know that by their actions. Are they consistent after 6 months? Are they ghosting you? Anybody that ghosts you, delete, block, goodbye. They are not worth your time. They're not respecting you, okay? And I'm going to bring it back to this too. It's all about respect, you guys, when it comes to relationships, okay? And I know I was taught this by my dad years ago when I first got engaged. He said to me, In order to love somebody, you've got to respect that person. And I didn't even understand what he was talking about because I was young. I didn't know what he meant by that. But as you get older and you live life, you understand what it means. The person that you're with has to respect you, okay? And if somebody is lying to you, if somebody is manipulating you, if somebody's gaslighting you, guess what? They're not respecting you. They're looking at you like you're a fool. And if you sit there and second guess yourself, they're going to say to themselves, they are a fool because they don't have self-confidence. And if you don't have self-confidence and you don't believe in yourself, that other person is not going to believe in you and they may try to take advantage of you. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys, all right? So when you move forward into the new year and we talk about, keeping the narcissist as far as possible. We don't want narcissists. We don't want toxic in our life because we know that narcissists waste our time. Narcissists waste our life. Narcissists waste years of our lives. Okay. How do I know? Because I'm a victim of that. I've wasted years of my life with the wrong people. Okay. And that's why, that's one of the reasons I started this podcast was because I wanted to wake people up to certain games that were going on in the dating and relationship world because nobody should be a victim to that. But you don't want to waste your life away with the wrong people, you guys. That is one of the worst regrets you could have. And I see these people on my posts all the time. I wish I would have known this 10 years ago. I wish I would have known this 3 years ago. We all wish we would have known it. And that's why we're here. And we're trying to, give out awareness to other people, to save other people so that when they recognize these narcissists in society that are users, opportunists, okay, that will waste your time, that will breadcrumb you, that aren't genuine. They are not genuine. A narcissist is not genuine. They're not sincere and they don't speak the truth. You've got to recognize it and it's up to you. It's up to you to allow who will be in your life and who won't be in your life, okay? It's like when I'm ringing in this new year, I made a choice and I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to be very careful who I allow in my circle and who I don't, all right? And the people that have shown me that they haven't had my back, I'm going to keep my distance from these people, okay? When I was going through a hard time and my kid was sick, I remember who was there for me and who was selfish, self-absorbed, and wasn't there for me, okay? And ringing in the new year, I tell you guys the same thing. You've got to know who's there for you and who's not, okay? A narcissist will not be there for you all the time, okay? They portray this image that, I got your back and everything like that. I'll never leave you. I'll always be with you. I love you unconditionally. It's all BS. It's all nonsense. And you're going to know it. You're going to know it by their actions over a period of time. When you call them or text them and you're going through a hard time, are they there for you or do they ignore your texts? Do they get back to you 4 days later when you're going through something really bad? Okay, that's how you know who's there for you and who's not, okay? Somebody who's there for you and really cares about you is going to respond to you right away. Somebody who really doesn't care about you is the kind that's going to get back to you a week or two later or hours later when they know you're going through something serious, okay? And when you go into this new year, it's your time to bring in the important people into your life and to stay away from the people that don't care, okay? A narcissist doesn't care about you, all right? They may care about little things, but they don't truly care about you. They care about themselves first. They are self-serving and they care about themselves first, all right? Remember that. So a narcissist is not going to care the way you care about somebody. So stop equating them with your level of thinking because they don't think like you. They don't think like, I have to, I'm 100% there for you. No, they're not. They're not unless they have something to gain off it. Okay? That's how they operate. They operate in the sense of what do they have to gain off you? Is it money? Is it sex? Is it praise? Is it admiration? Is it boosting their ego? Okay? You don't want people around you that, want you for those reasons. You want people around you who truly care about you as a person, as a whole person, okay? You're a whole person, and somebody who is enlightened and understands life will recognize that, okay? Only a clown recognizes the surface, but somebody who truly understands life, understands that, you know what? This is just a journey. This is not a destination, that our soul will continue on, okay? That we have a purpose. Somebody who understands that concept will get it. But somebody who just looks at the instant gratification of playing around or this or that and doesn't really understand what their goal is in life, they don't get it, okay? They don't get it. So you want to be with somebody who understands it. Why? Because when you deal with somebody like that, you're dealing with more of a serious-minded person, okay? And a serious-minded person is more reliable. It's somebody you could depend on. It's somebody who has a sense of values and morals, okay? And, when you deal with these other people, they're all over the place. They have no sense of values and morals except to themselves. So they're unreliable, and they won't give you any value to your life, because you will never, ever be able to, number one, believe what comes out of their mouth. You can never trust them, all right? Because they don't trust anybody else. A narcissist doesn't trust anybody, just so you know. That's why they're always accusing other people of cheating, because that's what they're doing. They can't believe that anybody could be loyal. Oh, everybody cheats. If somebody comes to you and says to you, oh, well, everybody cheats, you know that person is a cheater, okay? You better mark it down in your brain, cheater, okay? Because that's their mentality. They're telling you that's what they believe, that nobody cheats. And so that means that, guess what? They're a cheater, okay? But the purpose of this podcast was to talk about walking into the new year. And the most important thing, you guys, I really believe that it's important to meditate and think about your life and think about where you want to be. So what you have to do is you have to say to you, what changes am I going to make? Sorry, I can't talk this morning, okay? What changes am I going to make this year different and make my life different, okay? And the changes you're going to make is that you're going to have boundaries. In other words, when somebody criticizes you, when somebody judges you, when somebody puts you down in any sly way, and watch out for those covert narcissists, because they know how to do it. You got to trust how you feel, how that your gut feels, because that's telling you. That's God's way of telling you this person's not right, okay? Anytime you get a sign like that, you've got to back off from that person and know that, you know what? This person, I'm getting bad vibes, okay? Trust the vibes that these people give you, and you have to back off from them and not get yourself in deep. And this is the problem that people have made in the past. They get involved with somebody, they ignore these vibes that they're giving them, that they see that something's off, or they're in a fog, or they don't know where they stand in a relationship or something like that. If you're in the dark, you're not dealing with the right one. Sorry to tell you, but it's a fact. When people want something, they want something, okay? And they let you know it. When somebody wants you, they let you know it. So if you've been dating somebody, for a while and you still don't know where you stand, guess what? You don't stand anywhere with that person, because that person is using you and breadcrumbing you on, just stringing you along. And you have to recognize, the things that are not said as signs of a message that somebody is giving you, okay? They don't come out and say to you, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. They're not going to say that, because you know what? They're still getting some benefit off you. Maybe they're using you for sex, or maybe they're using you for money, or maybe they're just using you because they're bored and they want company, or maybe they're just using you because they're bored at their job and they want somebody to talk to. But they're not moving forward. They're not progressing. So if they're not progressing, they don't want anything serious with you. And you've got to recognize it. You've got to say to yourself, you know what? This person is not, if they were serious, they would move forward. They would lock it down. But if they're not locking it down and they don't care who you date, what you're doing, or anything like that, guess what? They truly don't care about you completely, okay? They care about themselves. They care about their freedom more than that, okay? Because they're taking a risk of losing you to someone else. And if somebody doesn't care about losing you to someone else, then guess what? They don't really, really care about you, all right? And is that somebody that you want to give your time to and waste your life with? Or is it better to, back off from somebody and find somebody who does value you, who does care about you, who does respect you, who does want to move forward with you because they see the value in you as a person, okay? You see where I'm going with this, all right? But it's up to you. It's up to you to be no nonsense because it's your life. You get one life and your time is valuable, and do not waste it with these people that will waste your life away. Okay. That's what they are. They're people that waste your life away. All right. You got to back off from these people that don't show you that, they truly, truly care about you, because if they care, they move forward with you and they don't play games. And we know that narcissists are game players. So anytime you see game, all right, they're inconsistent. They run hot and cold. You got to say to yourself, I'm dealing with a game player. I'm dealing with somebody who's giving me hot and cold. They're telling me one thing and they're doing another. This is not a transparent person. I need to back off from this because I want better in my life. I don't want somebody who's just using me when they feel like using me, or reeling me back in because the other person is not working out with them, whoever they're talking to. Now they're coming on strong to me. It's a push-pull, okay? But somebody who's real, someone who's genuine, someone who's consistent won't do that, okay? You won't be seeing that hot cold. You're going to move progressively with that person and move ahead with them. You're not going to feel like 1 minute they're affectionate, the next minute they could care less whether they hear from you, all right? Distance yourself from these type of people because they don't care about you. They don't care about you enough. They may care about you a little bit, but they don't care about you enough, because if they cared, they would not be doing that, and they would not take a chance of losing you, okay? So it's a new year, you guys. It's up to you to make it what you want it to, okay? You want to have a good year? Then you're going to make it a good year, and you're going to put yourself around the right people, okay? You're going to get out there and you're going to weed out, and you're going to see, okay, who's real and who's not. And the minute I see game, I'm backing off, because here's a waste of time, or here's a zero. Let me back off, okay? Let me not waste my time with the zeros, okay? So I hope that helps you guys. If it does, please hit the subscribe button. Please share the podcast. Have a wonderful new year, and, God bless. I hope you guys have health, happiness, and prosperity, okay? Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. If you're having trouble in your relationship, or maybe you're dealing with somebody who's a narcissist and you're really confused, you don't know what to do, you need some advice or some clarity, well, I offer email and also phone coaching. Please go to the podcast description for the link on how to get email or phone coaching, or maybe you just have a question that you need answered. All questions will be answered confidentially. So go to the podcast description where it tells you how Yaz can answer your questions. Hi, you guys. I just want to make you aware that the Game Exposed podcast now has their merchandise available. You can check out the link in the podcast description. There's hoodies, there's sweatpants, there's t-shirts, there's cool hats. So go check it out. Link is in the podcast description. And follow Yaz on Instagram at dating_advice_Yaz.